The story begins in a weathered village, where the rain doesn't just bring water, it brings judgment. Xiaoqiu arrived home drenched, her clothes disheveled from running through the storm. Instead of warmth, she was met with sharp tongues. "Look at her mess," they whispered. "Surely she's been fooling around with some wild man." But Xiaoqiu's mess was the mark of a survivor. Her home was crumbling. The roof leaked at the first sign of rain. The village head saw her struggle not as a tragedy, but as an opportunity, offering a 30,000 yuan dowry to take her away. To them, she was a commodity. To her grandmother, she was everything. The leap of faith. "Grandmother, I have to go to the city," Xiaoqiu resolved. She couldn't bear to see her grandmother suffer in a house that might collapse at any moment. Her friend Tianxian warned her of the cold reality. "City people look down on us. We have no education, no money. You'll be a target." Yet desperation fueled her courage. With an ancestral jade pendant given to a middleman named Mr. Li as a guarantee, Xiaoqiu traded her past for a chance at a future. The Golden Cage, Genting Hotel. Xiaoqiu found herself standing before the Genting Hotel, a 5-star monument of luxury that felt like another world. She was there for a cleaning job, a humble position, but the promised salary of 5,000 yuan represented a fortune for her family. However, the hotel's polish masked a hidden ugliness. Manager Zhou, a man who measured worth by silk and status, looked at her with predatory eyes. "You're just a country bumpkin," his gaze seemed to say as he reached out disrespectfully. Xiaoqiu stood her ground, a lone flower trying to bloom in a field of concrete. The fallen grace. The tension snapped when an elderly woman slipped on the hotel's polished, water-streaked floor. Without a second thought, Xiaoqiu rushed to help. But in this temple of luxury, kindness was mistaken for a scam. "Are you trying to extort us?" the security shouted, accusing them of touching porcelain-staged accidents. Xiaoqiu looked at the glittering lights and the cold faces around her. "I am not a liar," she said, her voice steady despite her fear. "I am here to work. This floor is wet, and it is dangerous." The night was heavy with the scent of expensive liquor and hidden agendas. Under the dim glow of the VIP lounge's crystal chandelier, Lin Xiaoqiu, a naive newcomer, felt her world spinning. "Xiaoqiu, if it weren't for manager Zhou, you'd never have landed this job," a colleague pressured, shoving another glass toward her. "Come on, show some gratitude. Drink up." Xiaoqiu tried to push the glass away, her voice trembling. "Thank you, but I really can't drink anymore." But Manager Zhou only smirked, whispering promises of future benefits while forcing the drink. In the shadows, a darker plot was brewing. "Is everything ready?" "Same place," a boss whispered to Zhou. A sinister deal had been struck. Xiaoqiu was to be the payment for the night. Semi-conscious and terrified, Xiaoqiu felt herself being dragged away. The voices around her turned predatory. To isolate her, they accused her of stealing alcohol from the kitchener, fake crime to justify punishing her behind closed doors. Suddenly, chaos erupted. In the cold, sterile hotel hallway, Xiaoqiu fought back with a burst of desperate strength. "Pervert! Get away! I'll kill you!" she screamed as someone tried to grab her. In her frantic escape, she crashed into a man radiating a cold, commanding authority. "Pay you!" the mysterious CEO of jika. In that tense moment, the faint scent of a third-generation drug remnants of the trap set for hurling guard in the air. A brief, accidental encounter occurred, one that would bind their fates together. By morning, the office was thick with paranoia. The conspirators were shaking. "What if Boss Pei finds out what we did? We're doomed," they whispered. To silence Xiao, they planned to fire her or humiliate her by assigning her to clean the toilets. At a modest home, an elderly woman, Grandma Zhao, was being cared for by Suddenly, a fleet of luxury black cars pulled up to the curb. The man from the night before, Pei, stepped out, his gaze sharp and piercing. "Who are you people?" the onlookers gasped. "We are here to escort the lady, by order of President Pei," his assistant announced firmly. Xiaoqiu stood frozen as Pei approached. He spoke softly, clearing the misunderstandings of the previous night, explaining that her clothes had been changed by female staff and a doctor had been called to treat her. "I will investigate everything and give you a full explanation," Pei promised, his voice low but absolute. Just as Xiao's enemies at the office thought they had successfully crushed her, a phone call rang through the executive lobby. "Hello? The CEO's wife has received the report. She is heading downstairs now." The sound of Xiaoqiu's steady footsteps echoed across the marble floor. She was no longer the fragile newcomer they could bully. She was the woman who had captured the attention of the king of the business world, and those who tried to destroy her the night before were about to face their own ruin. The project she had fought so hard for, her only hope of changing her fate, being snatched away by the hands of the wealthy. In the midst of that despair, an ancient jade pendant, an heirloom from a noble family, became the silent witness to an encounter that would change her life forever. The night of errors. Fate brought Xiaoqiu together with Boss Pei, a powerful man who was cold yet wounded. In the darkness of a massive misunderstanding, something happened between them. "I will take responsibility for you," the man whispered in the shadows. But Xiaoqiu's identity was stolen. Lin Zhaoqing, a woman she considered a friend, seized the opportunity. She claimed to be the woman from that night, wearing a mask of innocence to secure her place as the future wife of the CEO. "I am marrying you because I know you are the best," Boss Pei told Xiaoqing, unaware that the woman before him was a fraud. Meanwhile, Xiaoqing continued to twist the truth, poisoning Xiaoqiu's mind with honeyed words. "We grew up together. I only want you to be happy. But remember, you simply weren't born to be wealthy, a false luxury." Xiaoqing began to enjoy life in the luxurious Yu estate. Although she complained that the house wasn't grand enough, she swore never to let go of Boss Pei until she was officially the president's wife. However, doubt began to bloom in Boss Pei's heart. "Why does she smell so different from that night?" he muttered to himself every time they were near oppression beneath the hotel lights. On the other side of the city, Lin Xiaoqiu was trapped in misery at Boss Pei's hotel. She became the target of his cold fury following an incident in the restroom. The lights had suddenly cut out. Terrified, Xiaoqiu accidentally struck Boss Pei, mistaking him for a predator. A cruel punishment was handed down. "Clean every single toilet in this hotel tonight. If you don't finish, pay 90,000 or get out," Boss Pei barked. As she scrubbed the floors in exhaustion, Xiaoqiu could only whisper to the memory of her grandmother, promising that one day she would bring her to live in a mansion and eat the finest meals. The truth unravels. Despite her resentment toward Boss Pei's arrogance, Xiaoqiu could not deny her own heart. In her dreams, his face haunted her. Simultaneously, Boss Pei sensed something was wrong. He ordered his assistant to investigate the hotel's personnel records and uncover the true identity of the woman from that night. Who is she really? Is she ill? Boss Pei wondered as he watched Xiaoqiu, who appeared fragile yet stubborn. The secret of the jade pendant and the truth of who truly stayed by his side that night began to surface, threatening to shatter the false throne Xiaoqing had built. Story theme. The truth is like jade. Even when covered in mud and dust, its brilliance never fades. Lin Xiaoqiu may be at her lowest point, scrubbing floors under duress, but destiny is quietly paving the way to return everything that rightfully belongs to her. The tension at the Genting Hotel peaked when Zhou Daijun, an arrogant manager, made a cruel executive decision. He forced Li Xiaoqiu, a new cleaner from a rural village, to scrub every single toilet in the hotel alone in one night. "If they aren't finished by tomorrow, you're out," Zhou barked. His reasoning was steeped in prejudice. He believed Xiaoqu's rural background and lack of education made her unfit for the lobby, fearing she would offend the elite guests. However, Zhou's scheme crumbled when Boss Pei, the hotel's powerful owner, discovered Xiaoqiu fallen asleep on a cold bathroom floor from sheer exhaustion. Boss Pei's fury was cold and swift. To him, the Genting Hotel stood for fairness, not tyranny. You think one person can clean an entire hotel in a night? Is this how you manage the guest experience? Boss Pei's voice echoed in a stroke of poetic justice. He stripped Zhou Dejin of his position and handed him the scrub brush. Meanwhile, Xiaoqiu was promoted to the customer service department for professional training. Xiaoqu's sudden rise to grace ignited a fire of jealousy among the staff. Liang Qiu, feeling threatened, began spreading venomous rumors. Li Xiaoqiu certainly knows how to play the victim, she whispered in the hallways. On the surface, she acts innocent, but behind the scenes, she's seducing the man at the top. The air grew thicker with tension when Director Li, Teacher Li, unexpectedly entered Xiaoqu's room under the guise of an unscheduled meeting. Secrets began to bleed through the cracks of familiar scent of perfume, a hazy memory of a dark night, and a mark on a shoulder that someone was desperate to hide. Boss Pei was supposedly waiting for an important client, but the atmosphere shifted into something intimate and frantic. Xiaoqiu found herself trapped in an ambiguous moment with the boss. Why does it smell the same as that night? A voice whispered in the shadows. Memories of an accidental kiss, a sharp breath, and a lingering touch sent Xiaoqiu into a panic. She struggled to escape before her true identity or her past connection with Boss Pei was FL. In the midst of the emotional chaos, a pampered voice broke the silence. A high society woman, the wife of the powerful man, appeared unannounced. Hubby, I'm so bored at home alone. I missed you. Can you take me out for lunch? Between the cleaning buckets she once carried and the luxury of the CEO's office, she was now caught in a whirlpool of a love triangle and a battle for dignity. At the Genting Hotel, it seemed that flaws weren't the only things that needed scrubbing. The hidden malice behind expensive suits needed cleaning too. The wheel of fortune turns quickly. Those who humiliate others for their roots may find themselves holding the very brush they used as a weapon, while the truth of that night will always find a way to the light.